peace be upon you. The pagans of Mecca asked Prophet Muhammad to split the moon if he is a true prophet. So Allah split the moon into two halves as a sign for them. This miracle is mentioned in Quran. Allah says in the Quran, "The hour has drawn near and the moon was split. Yet, whenever they see a sign, they turn away, saying, 'Same old magic.'" So there is a clear evidence recorded in Quran that the moon was split. However, some non-Muslims are denying this miracle. A YouTuber by the name of Testify claims that the splitting of moon miracle has no evidences and eyewitnesses. So in this video, we will prove that the miracle of splitting the moon did really happen.
It says, "The hour has drawn near and the moon was split in two. Whenever they see a sign, they turn away saying same old magic." But this is where things get a little bit tricky. While many Muslims think this is talking about an actual literal miracle where the moon is split in half, others think that it's more about an eschatological sign, or others think that it's just a weird thing that happened to the moon that Muhammad used to make his point. Since it's not super clear what this passage means, Paley thinks that maybe Muhammad was using this weird moon thing to back up his message, even if it wasn't a straight-up miracle. And get this, there just aren't any reliable contemporary witnesses or details that really back up this whole moon-splitting thing.
So he is claiming that there were no contemporary eyewitnesses for the moon-splitting miracle. So is it true that there were no contemporary eyewitness? There are three evidences to disprove this claim and prove that there were contemporary eyewitness. The first evidence is the Quran itself. Second evidence are the hadiths. Third evidence are archaeological evidences from other civilizations. Let's speak about the first evidence, which is the Quran. The Quran itself is a contemporary evidence. Unlike the Bible, which was written decades or thousands of years after the events took place, the Quran was revealed during the lifetime of Prophet Muhammad, not decades or hundreds of years after his death or the events during his lifetime. The Quran itself is a very strong historical record when it comes to events which took place during the lifetime of Prophet Muhammad. No real historian can deny that the entire Quran is from the lifetime of Prophet Muhammad. There are very strong archaeological evidences, like the Birmingham manuscript, which proves that Quran was written down during the lifetime of Prophet Muhammad. So when Quran records an event during the lifetime of Prophet Muhammad, then this event did really took place. When Quran records the splitting of moon, then the splitting of moon did really happen. So to summarize, Quran is a contemporary evidence. Quran recorded the splitting of the moon miracle in Mecca during the lifetime of Prophet Muhammad. This miracle was witnessed by both pagans and Muslims in Mecca. This means that the splitting of moon did really happen. Now evidence number 2, which are the hadiths. The hadiths are oral traditions from the lifetime of Prophet Muhammad, which were transmitted by trustworthy people with connected chains of transmission. The hadiths which were transmitted by trustworthy people with connected chain of transmission are known as Sahih hadiths. Sahih means authentic. The most famous hadiths oral tradition books are Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim. In Sahih al-Bukhari, narrated Anas that the Meccan people requested Allah's messenger to show them a miracle, and so he showed them the splitting of the moon. In Sahih Muslim, narrated Abdullah, the moon was split into two pieces while we were with the Prophet in Mina. He said, "Be witnesses." Then a piece of the moon went towards the mountain. And there are dozens of other hadiths about the moon splitting.
There just aren't any reliable contemporary witnesses or details that really back up this whole moon-splitting thing.
That's not true. The pagans and Muslims of Mecca were contemporary witnesses of the moon splitting. Now coming to the third evidence. The third evidence is archaeological evidence. The Mayan civilization witnessed the moon splitting in the 7th century and recorded it. The Mayans used to worship the moon, and they portrayed it as an old woman holding a rabbit. And this picture portrays a split moon on the face of a rabbit. There was a written article, but it was edited and removed when the authors noticed that it proves the moon-splitting miracle in Islam, and this article was archived. The article says, "It shows that the palace of the moon is being shaken by a quake, indicated by the same question mark curls found in the ears of the split-faced moon rabbit." So according to this site, the Mayans used to represent the moon as a palace, and this palace was shaken, and there are curls in it which represent splitting. So now I prove that without a doubt the moon was split. Now here is the challenge for any Christian apologist. Prove to me any biblical miracle logically. If you can't prove any miracle mentioned in the Bible, then don't complain about Islam.